Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for Monday, October 1st, the first day of the month, a new month, and also the beginning of a new quarter, the last quarter of 2018. If you live and work in fiscal worlds, this is the beginning of, wow, already FY19. And so thank you for all who are joining me out there. Listen, um, t- I hate to sound like a broken record, but time is moving. And for all of us who have goals and hopes and dreams, and we talked about 2018, okay, 10 months ago, we are down to the last quarter to make it happen, to turn it around, to flip the switch, to begin again, to hurry up and finish what we've started because time is moving. And so I want to come to you for a few minutes this morning. Again, thank you for all who are joining me. I'm coming to you to talk about, because this is also, let me say this is also the beginning of a new month in our our life improvement plan, with our physical health, relationships, financial health, our spiritual health, and our career. And so for all of us who are working on our relationships this month, any kind of relationship, all kind of relationships, co-workers, siblings, adult children, marriage, any kind of relationship, teamwork, church members, there are some traits, some characteristics that will blow a relationship in a hot second. And I mean any kind of relationship. It doesn't matter, if it's a marriage, if it's a work relationship. There are some traits and characteristics that we work in. We live in this world, and they are tearing our relationships to pieces. And so, the 3 A's that will destroy your relationships, our relationships. This is not a, finger wagging by any means of any stretch of the imagination. 3 A's, and they are assumptions, arrogance, and apathy. And so, assumption looks like, well, I already know what you're going to say. And so you stop listening. I already know what you're going to do. So sometimes there can be no hope for another person, no hope for the relationship, no hope that things will get better, no expectations that anything will change, assumptions. And it doesn't really matter how long you've been knowing a person. Whenever we allow assumptions to rule the day, we're asking for trouble. You don't know. I've been knowing them for so long. I already know. Do you really? That already says that you believe people can't change. You believe people can't adjust accordingly. So assumptions, we got to watch out for assumptions. Thank you for all who continue to join me on Periscope and Facebook Live. Share it out, even while we're in the midst of it. So assumptions, we have to watch that. We can sometimes presume and assume things, and then we operate off the assumption. And you haven't checked, you haven't verified, you're going left, and then looking crazy and cross-eyed, wondering why the relationship, the marriage, is going downhill. So make sure we're not operating out of assumptions. The next A, arrogance. Assumption says, oh, I already know that. I already know what you're thinking. I already know what you're going to do. Arrogance says, I don't need to know. I don't need to know what you think. I don't need to know how you feel about this. I don't need to know what you want to do. And even if we're not so bold or arrogant to say those words out of our mouth, our actions sometimes are full-blown, live and in color, showing everyone that there's an arrogance about the way we treat the relationship. And I'm talking relationships, period. All of them. Check them out. Check out the relationships in your life. Are you operating from a place of arrogance that you don't need to hear what they've got to say? The last A, I'm sure there are a whole lot of A's, okay? The whole lot of alphabets that are working to destroy relationship. But assumption says, I already know what you think. I already know how you feel about this. Arrogance says, I don't need to know what you think. I don't need to know how you feel about this. And the last A, or the third A that I'm referring to today, is apathy. I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel about it. Just a weariness about the relationship, a weariness, apathetic. There's a lackluster response that says, I don't care. And so when people don't care, there's no investment in the relationship. There's just none. People say the opposite of love is hate. Well, a whole lot of other people say the opposite of love is apathy. I don't care. As long as you care about something, you're engaging in it. You will meet it head on. There will even be arguments. There'll be fervency about it. That's okay. That's a safe place to be. When things get apathetic, when you no longer care, that's when it's dangerous. Arguments are fine. Arguments, okay, we can work through an argument because you're still engaged. Apathy says, I don't care. I'm throwing my hands up to the whole situation. We don't even have to talk about this. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what your thoughts are. And so whether or not we verbalize these things, sometimes we operate in them. And if you're on the receiving end of it, even if you can't articulate what is going on, your gut will know something is happening. Oh, you know what? I'm missing comments down here. Hello, Brian. Hello, Miss Wanda. So that is what I'm offering you today for us to check as we start a new month, especially for those of us, hey, Sister Roan, especially for those of us who are working on relationships in particular, where we are choosing deliberately and intentional an actionable item every day to do. I will say till I have no breath in my body, there is nothing that will remain the same if you are being intentional and deliberate with an actionable item every day. It cannot remain the same. Okay, it has to get better, stronger, more efficient, more effective. It has to change. And so those are my 3 A's that oftentimes work to destroy relationships. Assuming, an arrogance, and an apathy. Assumption says, I already know. Arrogance says, I don't need to know. And apathy says, I don't care to know. I don't care. If we're having rough times, if we are having and experiencing and living in raggedy relationships, I'm going to ask again. I'm talking to the one who looks back at you in the mirror. That person is the only somebody you can control. And so do your part and check to make sure you're not operating in those 3 A's. They will destroy a relationship, a marriage, a relationship with your children, a relationship with your siblings, your coworkers, your church members, your team members. Make sure you're not operating in them. We have to be aware. We're trying to change anything. We have to be aware of where we're coming from. We have to be aware of what we're operating in. Okay, so that is my offering to you on this brand new month. A brand new month. Figure out what it is that you want, how you're going to get there. And let's start. 1 daily actionable item for this month. Okay, can't help but make a difference. Let's not destroy our own relationships with our own hands, our own mouth, our own attitude. That's another A. Okay. Until next time, take real good care of yourselves.